Although his classification does not correspond at all to reality, yet nevertheless, according to these atomic weights of his, it is possible approximately to establish that classification which was made by the great terrestrial learned beings of the future China. Of the number of nearly 400 active elements of opium, which then became known to the Great Brothers, knowledge of how to obtain only 42 active elements has reached the contemporary chemists of the earth. And these active elements have now the following names there. 1. Morphine. 2. Protopine. 3. Lanthopine. 4. Porphyroxine. 5. Opium or nicotine. 6. Paramorphine or thebaine. 7. Formine or pseudoformine. 8. Metformine. 9. Noscopine. 10. Oilopine. 11. Atropine. 12. Pyrrotine. 13. Dephteropine. 14. Tictupine. 15. Collatine. 16. Kaivatine. 17. Zoutine. 18. Trotopine. 19. Laudanine. 20. Laudanosine. 21. Podotaurine. 22. Arcatozine. 23. Tokitozine. 24. Lictonozine. 25. Macanidine. 26. Papaverine. 27. Crintonine. 28. Codomine. 29. Colomanine. 30. Koilonanine. 31. Caternine. 32. Hydrocatarnine. 33. Opianine. Mecanine. 34. Meconoazine. 35. Pistotaurine. 36. Phytonozine. 37. Codeine. 38. Nartzine. 39. Pseudocodeine. 40. Microparane. 41. Microtebaine. 42. Mesane. The last time I was on your planet, I heard that the contemporary learned beings of the community Germany found, as it were, methods of separating several other independent active elements from opium. But as I had already become convinced before this that the contemporary scientists of that community, firstly, for the most part, only fantasy, and secondly, like the beings of ancient Greece, do not prepare anything good or beneficial for future generations, I therefore did not interest myself in these, as it were, new, as they also call them, scientific attainments, and do not know the names of these new active elements of the present day. As regards the second fragment of the practical results attained by the reason of the same beings of ancient China, and which has reached down to contemporary beings, namely the knowledge relating to the law of the combination of colors, then all the information concerning this has been handed down almost all the time from generation to generation, but each year it always underwent a greater change for the worse, and was only 2 centuries ago ultimately forgotten. At the present time, some information relating to this law still continues to pass down and to become known only to certain of the 3-brained beings there who belong to the group of beings there named Persians. But now that the influence of what is called contemporary European painting is automatically spreading more and more widely in this group, then one must of course expect there the speedy and also total, as our esteemed teacher says, evaporation of this information. And as regards the seven-toned scale of sound, which had reached them from the ancient Chinese beings, then you must be informed about this as detailedly as possible, because first of all, thanks to this information, you will better understand about the laws of vibration, in which all the peculiarities of the sacred Heptaparaparshinokh can be constated and cognized. And secondly, because among those things intentionally reproduced by those same three-brained beings of yours who have taken your fancy, for daily use in their general existence, I brought home from there also one sound-producing instrument, namely their piano, on which the vibration-engendering strings were placed, which could be arranged just as on the Zhenvokh. That is, the second special part of the famous experimental apparatus Law of Heptaparaparshinokh, which was created by the great twin brothers, and on which, when we return onto our dear Karatas, I shall be able to explain to you by demonstration what is called the successiveness of the processes of the mutual blending of vibrations. Thanks to these practical explanations of mine, you will more easily be able to represent to yourself and approximately to cognize just how and in which successiveness in our great megalocosmos the process of the most great Trogo-Autoegocrat proceeds, and in what way the large and small cosmic concentrations arise. Relating about how such a fragment of practical result from the ancient true knowledge survived and automatically reached down to your contemporary favorites, I shall first of all elucidate to you with more accuracy about this same definite law of vibrations, which was first formulated by the great brothers as the 7 gravity center vibrations of sound. I already said that in the beginning, while that totality of true information, or that fragment of genuine knowledge, was handed down from the beings of one generation to the beings of subsequent generations, only through the genuine initiates there, it not only underwent a change in the entirety of the exact sense put into it, but it even began, thanks to other also genuine learned beings among their followers of subsequent generations, to be detailized, and became accessible then to the perception of even ordinary three-brained terrestrial beings. Among these followers, a century and a half after the sacred Roscoarno of the Saint Brothers, there was a certain genuine learned being, King Tu Toz by name, who, on the basis of the principles of the construction of the middle part of the apparatus Law of Heptaparaparshinokh, named Zhenvokh, propounded a very detailed theory under the name Evolution and Involution of Vibrations. And for the confirmation of this theory of his, he made a special elucidatory apparatus, which he called Lav Mers Noch, and which, by the way, later became also widely known among almost all the learned beings of our great megalocosmos. The said apparatus, Lav Mers Noch, like the middle part of the Law of Heptaparaparshinokh, consisted of a very strong frame, with a great many strings stretched on it, made from the